I don't know. I'm going to show you something. Can you see that? That basically says $539 for oil. For 100 gallons of oil for a 275-gallon oil tank. That means oil for fuel is $5.39. Welcome to New Hampshire in the winter. Hey BookTube, it's Kim at middle of the book march, and this is my bookish week for Saturday, October 15th. I should say my chatty bookish week. Why do I say that? Because I haven't finished a dang book. Not one. I'm reading a whole bunch, but I haven't finished one. There's a bunch of reasons. I am very slowly, you'll see when I show you the books. I'm going to show you what I'm currently reading, but I just thought I'd talk, have a little chat, whatever. So this is the first time in a long time that I have no open book orders in existence. I have nothing on order. And I just did a book haul Wednesday, or I posted a book haul on Wednesday. So those are all the books I bought. Most of them I bought in person, and they were the last of any open orders I had online. I don't have anything on open right now. I have nothing. And I have 2 library book sales that I have planned to go to at the end of the month on the 29th. But those are opportunities for me to spend $1 or $2 on books. So I'm looking forward to those. Okay, I gotta back up. Shortly before I started BookTube, I started stalking library sales. And because my local library does not have a sale of their own. And I discovered that website. I've talked about this so many times, booksalefinder.com, and it tells me all the library sales in any state that I want to know. So I've been trolling that. I troll that site all the time. And, you know, several years ago, I started going to the 2 library sales that I'm going to be going at the end of the month. And they're both fantastic. So I get really excited of the potential and the opportunity of going to the sales, what I'm going to find there. I usually always walk out of at least one of them with half a dozen books. So, and it's just something fun that I do. My life is pretty simple. I don't do a lot, which is at my point in my life, I am really happy about. You know, I like doing family things, and I like buying books. I like reading books, so that's about it. That's what makes me excited, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do it. That's what I'm going to do it. That's what I'm going to do. So you know what I'm talking about. So what else is going on? I'm really loving Grammy time. I really am. Yeah, I have to remind myself that this is not my baby, and my daughter is an exceptional mother so far, and I have to pull back. Like, all I'm supposed to do is hold her and have fun and love her, and I don't need to do any of the hard stuff, and I don't need to, you know, watch over my daughter's shoulder, you know, give her advice, yet more advice. I'm like, nope, I'm going to hold back. She's doing great. I'm just going to love this baby and have fun and feed her and change her and snuggle. The snuggles, I love the snuggles. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Let me show you what I'm currently reading, and you'll see why I really haven't finished anything. Yeah. So this one is The Long Gaze Back, edited by Sinead Gleason. Britta and I have been making our way through this anthology of short stories by Irish women. And so it's, you know, we're taking our time. And it's not a super long book. But the thing with this one is it's because every short story is written by a different author. I don't want to fly my way through this book because I want to read a story, think about it for a little bit, you know, kind of think about the writing style and the content. So I'm really enjoying the pace that we're reading these stories in. And this one is far more successful for me than other short story collections, which I'm normally not that fond of, because it's an anthology and every one is written by a different author. So there's difference in writing styles, and I'm really liking that. This one, I'll be done sometime next week, I'm pretty sure. Okay. No. Here's another reason. I am rereading The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. This is kind of Victober adjacent, I think. It was first published in 1844. This is one of my favorite books of all time. And my book group and I decided, from one of my friends in book group asked if anybody wants to group read this. And so my book group in real life is group reading The Count of Monte Cristo. This is one of the longest books I've ever read for pleasure. This is over 1,200 pages. Over 1,200 pages. So yeah. And so this is a book that we're going to read over the next 2 months. So this is a very difficult book to read slow because it's so good. And we're reading a certain number of chapters every day, and we have a schedule, but it is so hard to put it down. If you've not read The Count of Monte Cristo, it's a fantastic book. So if you have the urge to read a 1,200 and something page book, please do. Okay, now the last 2 books, I'm currently reading 4 books. So the last 2 I'm struggling with for different reasons. This is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. This was one of the books in my Mooks and Gripes bucket list book tag. And it was this book, this is one of 2 books that you guys voted as to which ones I should read this year. And so I picked it up. I am about a quarter of the way through this book. I don't want to give up. I don't want to DNF it. It's a super short book. It's like 200 not even 200 pages. I don't want to give it up, but it's annoying me. And I knew going in, it's Virginia Woolf writing style. It's stream of consciousness. It's the day in the life of Clarissa Dalloway. And so I knew all of that going in, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm realizing I need more of a plot than what this book has. The writing is beautiful. There's certain, the way she turns certain phrases and writes and the sentences and the words, it's really beautiful. But I'm going to continue, and, so far it's not my favorite, but, hey. Now this one, oh my gosh. I am reading David Copperfield by Charles Dickens in honor of Victober. And this one I am also about a quarter of the way through, which is not even 200 pages. This is over an 800 page book. So I am barely a quarter of the way through. It took 200 pages for this book to come out of a darkness. This was a bleak beginning. This is a dark book. A dark novel of Dickens, and this is his autobiographical novel. So this is kind of a, I was born. Basically, I was born is the first sentence. The chapter heading is I am born. So this is the story of David Copperfield being born and then him growing. It's kind of a coming of age, but no. It's a lot more complex than that, but it is dark and bleak in the first 200 pages. And I'm finally at a point where I'm really starting to enjoy the story and the characters. Now, however, I am not happy with Charles Dickens as a person. And I'm that kind of reader that has trouble with that. I have trouble with the authors and separating the art from the artist. And clearly, this is a classic of English literature. It's Charles Dickens. He died in the 1800s. And so am I holding him up to too high of a standard? I don't think so. He was married to Catherine, who bore him 10 children. And he wanted to get divorced after 22 years of marriage to hook up, so to speak, with a young actress who was one of his daughter's ages. She was, maybe 20, if not younger. And he tried to have his wife committed to what they referred to as an insane asylum. He tried to have her medically diagnosed as being insane so he could shut her up and get rid of her so he could move on with this young girl. I'm like, what? And you know, it's not like I just found this out. I had known about that. But by finding that out and by knowing his background, I actually want to read a biography of Catherine Dickens and see what her life was about. So, yeah, yeah. And I think I have the majority of Dickens novels on my shelf. So, yeah, I'm going to continue with this one. I'm going to, like, kind of read a chapter here, a chapter there, kind of a book. So maybe next week I'll have something to show you that I actually finished. I think I'll at least have one or two. So, yeah, so that's all I have that I was going to, you know, talk to you concretely about. Here's something that I've noticed on BookTube, and I just, for the life of me, I don't know. I didn't just start seeing these, but I just started to see more videos from booktubers about reading sprints. And at first I was like, what are reading sprints? What does that mean? And from as far as I can tell, a reading sprint is a booktuber, or anybody for that matter, who is kind of opening up a block of time for a group to all read together and see how many pages you could fit in that block of time. And I'm like, I am so tired on a regular basis. I have no energy to try to do that. And is that fun if you guys have all taken part, or if you've run a reading sprint or done a reading sprint video, do you really like it? Is it enjoyable for you? I don't, you know, more power to you, because I'm just exhausted thinking about it. I don't even know what I would do. No, I don't think I could do it, but yeah. It seems interesting, and I've always thought of doing a video like, you know, read with me kind of a video, whether it's like a quiet 30 minutes or 45-minute video where we just read in the same room together. It could be a live video. I don't know, but I think I would probably be bored with myself if I did that. Yeah, so I just thought some certain things were pretty funny. The other thing is I wanted to shout out a video. I just watched Marilyn Maya Mendoza, the baby boomer booktuber, put up a video on why you should read, and I am going to link her video down below as well as her channel. I really love Marilyn because she does her own thing. She talks about whatever she wants to talk about. I love her perspective. I love her stories, and I like listening to her talk about her life and how the books that she's reading apply to her life and what she feels about them. And she put out a video, why to read? Why should anybody bother reading? And I really loved what she had to say. And you could tell she put in a lot of research into her video, because she offers author quotes and different authors that said different things about books and reading. And I really, really enjoyed her video. So I want to shout her out. And please click on the link in the description box to watch that video. It's so positive and so goal-oriented, but also personal and transparent on her part. So please go and check her out. Check out her channel if you haven't yet. She's wonderful. So that's it for me. A little bit of a chatty thing. Yeah, I'll come back next week, and I have a few ideas of things to post for you next week. Let me know in the comments below what you think of any of the books I have going on, or what your thoughts are on Dickens or Mrs. Dalloway. If you've read The Count of Monte Cristo before, I would love to hear all that. So write me a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.